Hello, fellow preppers. Welcome back to our channel where we explore the world of emergency preparedness and prepping. Today, we're venturing back in time to engage with the tale of Noah's Ark, a story that transcends cultures and centuries and holds valuable lessons for us as modern-day preppers. Now, even if you're not religious, the story of Noah is a compelling narrative of foresight, preparation, and survival. It's about a man who sees a cataclysmic event on the horizon and takes action, preparing an ark to safeguard his family and the world's creatures. Noah's Ark is, in essence, the ultimate prepper story. It's a tale that echoes the journey we undertake as preppers, recognizing potential threats, gathering resources, and creating a plan to weather any storm. So let's dive in and see what Noah's Ark can teach us about emergency preparedness. Just like Noah, preppers understand the importance of being ready for any situation. One key lesson we can learn from Noah is the importance of having a well-stocked pantry. Just as Noah needed to gather enough food and water to sustain all life on the ark, we too need to ensure that we have enough provisions to last us through any unforeseen circumstances. It's not just about having a pantry full of canned goods and bottled water. It's about having a diverse and balanced stockpile to meet our nutritional needs. We must consider proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, as well as essential vitamins and minerals. Think about dried beans, whole grains, canned meats, fruits, and vegetables, as well as long-lasting dairy alternatives like powdered milk or non-dairy milks. Similar to how Noah had to think about the different dietary needs of all the animals on the ark, we also need to consider any special dietary requirements in our households. Do we have young children who need certain nutrients for their growth? Do we have elderly members who might need softer, easy-to-digest foods? Or do we have family members with specific dietary restrictions such as gluten intolerance or diabetes? We also need to consider the shelf life of the items we stockpile. Some foods like rice, pasta, and canned goods can last for years if stored properly. Others, like certain spices or oils, may have a shorter shelf life. It's important to keep track of these expiration dates and rotate our stock accordingly, much like how Noah would have had to manage the resources on his ark. Water is another crucial consideration. The rule of thumb is to store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. This covers both drinking and sanitation needs. However, in a prolonged crisis, you'll need much more than that. And let's not forget about non-food essentials. Things like hygiene products, first aid supplies, and basic tools are just as important to have in our prepper pantry. In conclusion, stocking the pantry is a vital part of emergency preparedness. Similarly, preppers prioritize building a stockpile of food, water, and other essentials to ensure they can weather any storm. The goal is to not just survive, but to maintain a level of comfort and normalcy in our lives, even when everything else may be in chaos. Noah's Ark also teaches us the value of organization and rotation in our prepper pantry. This critical lesson is often overlooked, yet it's an essential practice to ensure the longevity of our supplies. Imagine the ark teeming with different animals. Now think about your pantry. Just as Noah had to manage the diverse creatures on his vessel, we need to be strategic about our food storage. Our pantry is our ark, and our food items are the animals we need to look after. Let's start with organization. Having a well-organized pantry is more than just knowing where everything is. It's about understanding what you have, how much of it remains, and when it needs to be consumed. This knowledge not only helps in maintaining an efficient inventory, but also prevents wastage. Moving on to rotation. The concept here is simple. First in, first out. This means that the oldest items should be used first, and newer items should be stored behind them. This way, nothing stays too long in your pantry, and you are less likely to encounter expired or spoiled items. It might seem like a tedious process, but it's worth the effort. Regularly checking your stocks, updating your inventory, and rotating your supplies is like conducting a health check on your pantry. These actions ensure that your food remains fresh and usable, extending the life of your supplies. But remember, organization and rotation are not one-time activities. They are ongoing tasks that require diligence and commitment. Just as Noah had to continuously care for the animals, we too must regularly tend to our pantry. In the end, the goal is to have a pantry that is not only well-stocked, but also well-managed. A pantry that can sustain us, just as the ark sustained Noah and his family. Just as Noah had to carefully manage the animals on the ark, preppers must regularly check and rotate their food supplies to ensure they remain fresh and usable in an emergency. Another lesson from Noah is the importance of self-sufficiency. In a world where convenience is king, we often overlook the importance of being able to rely on ourselves. But in times of crisis, self-sufficiency isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. Picture the scenario. The grocery stores are empty, the water supply is contaminated, electricity is a distant memory. Sounds grim, right? But for those who have honed their self-sufficiency skills, this scenario is a challenge, not a catastrophe. Let's start with food. In the world of prepping, self-sufficiency often begins in the garden. Growing your own food isn't just a hobby, it's a lifeline. It's about understanding the rhythm of nature, the changing of the seasons, and the satisfaction of harvesting the fruits of your labor. It's about knowing that, come what may, you can nourish yourself and your family. Water, too, is a crucial area of self-sufficiency. It's easy to take for granted when it flows freely from the tap. But what happens when it doesn't? Knowing how to purify water, whether it's from a rain barrel, a stream, or a puddle, is a skill that could one day save your life. And then there's cooking. We're not talking about whipping up a gourmet meal here. We're talking about basic survival cooking. Can you start a fire without matches? Can you cook a meal without electricity? These are skills that our ancestors took for granted, but many of us have forgotten. The beauty of self-sufficiency is that it's a journey, not a destination. There's always more to learn, more skills to hone, more ways to prepare. And the more self-sufficient you become, the more confident you'll feel in your ability to face whatever comes your way. Whether it's growing your own food, purifying water, or knowing how to cook without electricity, self-sufficiency is key to long-term survival. It's about more than just getting by. It's about thriving, no matter what the world throws at you. Finally, Noah's Ark reminds us of the power of community and sharing resources. This tale, filled with animals of all shapes and sizes, is a testament to the strength of diversity and cooperation. Noah didn't just save two of each kind. He created a community aboard the Ark, a community that shared the common goal of survival. In the world of prepping, we often focus on the individual or the family unit. We stockpile food, water, and essential supplies. We learn skills to fend for ourselves in a crisis. But just like the diverse community on the Ark, there's power in a group of like-minded individuals. Imagine a network of people, all prepared, all ready to face whatever challenges may come. This isn't just a group of friends or neighbors. This is a community of preppers, each with their own unique skills and resources, ready to pool their knowledge and supplies for the collective good. In times of crisis, having a community to rely on, to share with, and to learn from can be the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving. Each member brings something unique to the table. One person might be an expert gardener, another a whiz at water purification, while someone else might have a knack for building and repairing. In this network, resources are shared, skills are taught, and everyone benefits. The power of community doesn't just lie in the sum of its resources, but in the collective knowledge and resilience of its members. Moreover, a community provides emotional support, which is often overlooked in prepping. The ability to share experiences, to reassure one another, to maintain hope in the face of adversity. These are all invaluable in a crisis situation. Building a network of like-minded individuals can provide support and assistance when disaster strikes. Like Noah's diverse Ark community, the strength of a prepper community lies in its diversity, cooperation, and shared resources. So, reach out, connect, and start building your network today. Remember, we're all in this together. Reflecting on Noah's story highlights the core tenets of preparedness: the foresight to recognize threats, the commitment to thorough preparation, and the resilience to adapt to new realities. From stocking the pantry with essentials to maintaining organization and rotation of supplies, we've seen the importance of readiness, just as Noah did in the face of the great flood. We've also learned the value of self-sufficiency, relying on our own skills and resources to navigate through tough times. And let's not forget the power of community and resource sharing, which echoes Noah's welcoming of all creatures onto his ark. These lessons from Noah's Ark are timeless, transcending centuries to hold relevancy in our modern world. They remind us to stay vigilant, remain prepared, and always be ready to adapt. Thank you for joining today's session on the enduring wisdom of Noah for modern preppers. Stay safe, stay prepared, and continue to build your ark for whatever future challenges may arise.